I'm John Weber for IAM Best TV, and I'm speaking today to Peter Miller, President and CEO of the Institutes. Peter, so glad you could join us today.
Thank you, John. As always, I appreciate it.
Peter, the International Insurance Society's Global Insurance Forum is taking place in Singapore. What's the Institute's relationship with the IIS?
So the IIS is an affiliate of the Institutes. Effectively, the Institutes, under its corporate umbrella, contains about 19 different organizations, one of which is the IIS. So they're a very valuable partner to us. They help us reach insurers globally, and we've been affiliated with them for a number of years.
So tell us about this year's Global Insurance Forum, Peter.
Well, we're very excited about it because it's the first in-person meeting in a number of years due to the pandemic. So it's a gathering of senior insurance executives in Singapore, and those people represent the industry from around the world. So it's a great group of thought leaders and business leaders in the industry, and we're very excited about it.
And you're involved with a panel relating to the need for talent in insurance. And I understand that there's been some recent research on that topic. The talent gap has long been discussed as it relates to the insurance sector. So why this research now?
Well, it's very interesting because the timing of the research around this issue was really a result of conversations we had with several people from the IIS and several international leaders. So there's an increasing understanding, particularly with the different skill sets and AI and all the other things going on in the industry, that talent, although always important, is becoming even more important. So we undertook a research project with the Shin Research Program that we've had a relationship with for a number of years, and we chose that topic. And I think it really is indicative of the need to understand how the industry can attract talent and retain talent in a time of great change.
You mentioned skill sets. What are some of the skill sets that will be needed to excel in the insurance sector in the coming years?
Well, according to the folks that we talk to, there are 4 basic skill sets. Number 1, as you would think, is data fluency. The ability to be conversant in data. Obviously, given the huge amount of data that's now being collected, the ability to understand data and how to use data is going to be increasingly important. Another is, not surprisingly perhaps, have a technical mindset. Because of all the new tools that are coming along in order to utilize that data, then we think that, or at least the folks we talk to, say understanding technology and how to use it is going to be very important. Third, big picture thinking and a broad view. And that's really kind of related to the first 2 in that, how do you construct a broader, more strategic view using data and tools? So how does the industry fit into the broader global economy? What other roles are important? Upcoming trends and how to utilize those and to formulate those are going to be important. And the fourth is curiosity. Maybe one that's kind of always present, but again, you're going to have much more data, much more tools. And curiosity is going to be very important because I think that's going to lead to a lot of new ideas that will make the employee more adaptable, make their organization more adaptable, and give opportunities for growth.
Based on your findings, Peter, how can the insurance industry appeal and attract the talent that's going to be needed years from now?
Well, this is critical, right? And I think risk management and insurance continues to evolve. I think, part of it is sort of high level, and that's really talking about the higher purpose of risk management and insurance. The fact that this industry and these functions save lives, make people's lives better and safer, that very much appeals. Another is flexibility. This is, particularly post-pandemic, flexible in terms of how it works. Schedules, work hours, work-life balance, but also interestingly from this research, flexibility in the type of work that people are doing. So some of the research says not only do people want more flexibility in how they approach their work, but they also want more flexibility in what that work is. Third is competitive compensation. There's a variety of feeling around that in the folks we talk to. Some say that risk management and insurance is closing the gap and becoming more competitive from a compensation point of view, and some saying we still have a ways to go. And then the fourth is a strong corporate culture. So for an individual organization, the ability to create a strong corporate culture, which we view as an accelerant to progress, turns out to be something that we think the industry can really leverage and be able to use it to attract people.
So what are some ways to best cultivate new talent?
Well, and this is going to be critical, right? Because once you get them in the door, certainly you want to make sure you keep them. So for new employees, it's investment really, and it takes the form of a training program. So is there a plan in place? Can we point to a new employee and say, these are the skills that we anticipate that we're willing as an organization to invest in order to advance your skills? For junior and upper level executives, continuing education, lifelong learning, making sure that people understand that not only is that initial investment important, but a continued investment in people's continuing career. And then for executive and leadership training programs, this research really underscored the necessity and the benefits of face-to-face programs. So as you get to the higher levels, it's a more nuanced leadership and more in-depth knowledge that takes more time and I think more personal interactions to convey, and I think that reflects itself in face-to-face. For developing technical skills, of course, the rise in online learning has made all the difference. It's something obviously we do at the institutes, but it's much more flexible. Folks can get training in a time, manner, and place of their choosing. And then I think the last one is the need for flexible and diverse education modalities. Not everybody learns the same way, but the educational tools are such that you can really tailor the learning experience to the best way in which the learner learns. And of course that increases retention and increases the learner's satisfaction with the program. So I think some of those are the things that came out in the research.
So let's sum it up, Peter. What was the big takeaway from the research on talent?
Well, there are two big takeaways to me. And one is hire folks that are curious, because they will then be lifelong learners. So those are the two things I would say if you were going to summarize the research in a sentence: hire people who are curious and hire people who desire to be lifelong learners, because they'll continue to improve themselves and frankly get better outcomes for themselves and for their organizations.
Peter, thanks for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you very much. As always, I'm grateful.
That was Peter Miller, President and CEO of the Institutes, and I'm John Weber for IM Best TV.